You got a brother that's going to speak on the entitlement that he says a lot of sisters have, especially with dating in Atlanta, and why dating for a lot of men is something that they just getting just real tired of because it just doesn't make financial sense. Let's go ahead and roll it.
What happened in your dating experience to where you're now like,
It's a lot of pressure on black men, specifically dating black women. And I love black women. Social media and the culture has put a lot of pressure on us. This could be just based on environment. When I moved to Atlanta, women here are very entitled. And listen, I'm not blaming anybody, so I don't want this to turn into...
When you say entitled, though, what does entitled mean?
I'll say financially entitled. I feel extreme pressure. And I get hit on by white women, I get hit on by all kinds of women. But when I get hit on by black women, I immediately feel this entitlement of, I got to pay for something.
Wow.
I got to pay your rent. I got to help you with your car note immediately within 2 weeks. Or I'm just saying what I've experienced. I'm not saying that's every woman. Nowadays, if I take somebody on a date,
$400
immediately, and I don't even drink. So if she drink, that's the couple hundred. If the hookah is 45, lamb chops is 50, dessert. So by the time
Valet.
I was just getting ready to say valet. So we didn't spend $400 for me to see if you like me.
Say that again.
So it's like I'm spending. That's just the first date. You want to go out again. So I done spent $1,000 on 3 dates just to see if you might call me back or maybe text me back. And then because you're a beautiful woman, if you don't like me, you can go get the next man to do the same thing.
When I hear this brother talk about the amount of money just to go out on dates, he say up to $1,000. $1,000 is not easy to come by. $1,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people. I mean, now, if you that kind of dude is kind of rich, and even if you're rich, one thing about rich people, they don't believe in blowing their money. That's why people that really got money, you don't even know because they're not driving a flashy car. They may have some freaking Toyota Camry driving around and going shopping regular stores. You may look out, they broke, they ain't got no money, and they got about 10, 20 million in the bank, and you don't even know. And then people stay rich because they don't blow their money like that. It's just that simple. So I don't know where this entitlement comes from where you just met this man, but you got to pay your rent. Like what? Listen, fellas, you have to look at it like this. If you met a woman and in a few weeks, you got to pay her rent, you got to pay her car note, she's dusty. She's dusty. The moment she asks you to pay her rent, that should be the end of it for you. The moment she asks you to pay her car note, that's the end of it for you. Because let me tell you something. If she's so comfortable after a few weeks to ask you a question like that, then you better believe it's a guy that she fooling with that's not paying nothing. Don't you let no woman make you a simp just because the way she look or whatever the case may be. Because just as much as you think she look a certain way, they got a decent woman that won't even ask you for a dime that look the same. That's the wonderful thing about the world. The world's a big place. And if you get you a doggone passport, you even have a bigger pool of young ladies that you can talk to. And I'm not talking about going to no freaking Colombia tricking. I'm not talking about no tricking. I'm talking about actually going places, you actually meeting a lady, a decent lady in a particular country, a good woman who wants to have a family and you want to have a family and things like that. And she's all about want to put together a family. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I don't talk about the tricking because the deal is about the tricking. A lot of y'all losing y'all life in Colombia behind the tricking. I just saw another brother that lost his life in Colombia. Y'all tricking down there and y'all dropping like flies over there. Stop tricking. But it's a red flag if a woman asking you for money. And yes, they're going to try to gaslight you and say, oh, well, you broke? Never fall for that gaslighting. They're the one that's broke because they're asking you for money. What he going to do for you? You shouldn't talk to him unless he going to pay for something. What? No. They say, I'm not, and you tell them, listen, I don't date prostitutes. Sorry, I don't. Prostitute, you mean? Yes, a prostitute is in a transactional relationship. You give the prostitute money, she gives you, the pleasure that you're looking for. That's a transaction. You understand that going in. You tell them, I don't date prostitutes or anything like that. I'm dating a woman because I'm looking for a girlfriend to make her eventually my wife. And if you, I just met you and you already asked me for money, oh no, ma'am. And that's the end of the conversation. You move on, my brother. See, you men gotta set the tone in Atlanta. Now the simps, they gonna trick off. Let them trick off. But at the end of the day, then women really don't like the simps because they know they can control them. The moment you cash out with a woman that you just met, you don't really know her, but yeah, you cashing out so much money, man, she don't respect you, bro. She don't respect you. She gonna just use you up, and then she gonna move on to the next one. Women only respect men that put their foot down and stand in their masculinity and will tell them, I'm not giving you nothing. Bye. That'll mess with her head, especially if she in her mind thinks she look a certain way. That'll really mess with her head because they're not used to men rejecting them. They're not used to that. These little ladies don't deal with rejection too well. So you brother that's standing on your business and say, no. And say, if I'm going to start paying for something like that, that means we already like in a serious relationship. We have moved in together, and we're going to do that together as a couple. I'm not paying for pay for your rent so you can let some dude lay up in there and go knock you down, right? That's not paying a dime. You know what I'm saying? No, hell no. Don't you do it. It's on you brothers to keep putting up with that in Atlanta. It don't matter what she look like. It don't matter what plastic surgery she done got yet. Listen, they done that so much now. Y'all should be over that by now. It's not unique anymore. It's become the norm. So since it's become the norm, then I'm pretty sure you done seen it once, twice, 1,000 times. They're like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I don't go to Cheesecake Factory. Okay, you don't go. Bye. Like that. Y'all, you gotta be that cutthroat as a man. All these ladies in Atlanta gonna keep running over y'all.